See Wright Mills' influence and critiques of power structures. C. Wright Mills introduced the concept of the sociological imagination in his 1959 book, The Sociological Imagination. This notion empowers individuals to connect personal experiences with larger societal issues, a perspective that challenges conventional understandings of individual agency within a structured society. For Mills, understanding one's personal troubles requires an examination of public issues that shape those experiences. Thus, he emphasizes that personal problems cannot be divorced from systemic realities. Mills' framework encourages a critical approach to analyzing social phenomena by situating individual experiences within broader historical contexts. This methodology has been fundamental for radical sociology, as it allows activists and theorists to identify connections between personal struggles and systemic oppression, an essential step toward revolutionary consciousness among marginalized groups. In The Power Elite, 1956, Mills delves into the intersectionality of power within American society by arguing that a small group of elites dominates decision-making processes across key institutions, politics, business, and military leadership. He posits that this concentration of power leads to a disconnection between ordinary citizens and those who wield authority over them, an idea that resonates with subsequent critiques within the radical left concerning bureaucratic inertia and alienation. Mills contends that rather than being isolated instances or mere coincidences, many social issues stem from entrenched structures favoring elite interests at the expense of democratic governance. His analysis serves as a rallying cry for those disillusioned by traditional liberalism's failure to address structural inequalities effectively. This critique is particularly relevant today as activists confront systemic racism, economic inequality, and environmental degradation, issues increasingly recognized as interconnected outcomes produced by elite manipulation and neglect rather than isolated incidents requiring piecemeal reform. Mills' ideas have significantly influenced various strands within radical thought throughout history. His emphasis on the sociological imagination inspired activists during the civil rights movement who sought not only to address racial injustices but also to understand them as part of a larger system perpetuated by economic exploitation and political disenfranchisement. Furthermore, his work laid groundwork for later scholars like Herbert Marcuse and Angela Davis, who expanded on themes related to alienation in capitalist societies while advocating for revolutionary action against oppressive systems. Marcuse's One-Dimensional Man, 1964, echoes Mills' critique by highlighting how consumer culture stifles dissent and maintains conformity among oppressed groups, a sentiment aligned with Mills' assertion that elite control extends beyond mere politics into cultural realms. C. Wright Mills' contributions remain vital in understanding the origins of radical sociology within the American left's evolution from liberalism towards more extreme positions characterized by critiques against established power structures. By employing his concepts, such as the sociological imagination, alongside rigorous analyses about concentrated power among elites, contemporary radicals are better equipped to articulate grievances rooted in systemic injustice rather than mere isolated events or occurrences. As we reflect on these themes today, amidst mounting socioeconomic crises exacerbated by globalization and institutional failures, it becomes evident that revisiting Mills' insights not only enriches our understanding, but also provides valuable tools for fostering collective action aimed at dismantling oppressive systems in pursuit of a more just society. In this sense, C. Wright Mills emerges not merely as a scholar, but as an enduring figure whose legacy continues to inspire movements striving towards fundamental transformation in American society. At its core, radical sociology advocates for solidarity among disenfranchised groups, an essential principle for mobilizing collective action against systemic injustices. Disenfranchisement often breeds isolation. Individuals affected by poverty, racial discrimination, gender inequality, or other forms of marginalization may feel powerless when confronting their unique struggles alone. Radical sociologists argue that these groups must forge alliances based on shared experiences of oppression to challenge the status quo effectively. One compelling example is the civil rights movement of the 1960s, which demonstrated how solidarity among various marginalized communities could lead to profound social change. African Americans at the forefront of this movement recognized their struggle was intricately linked with other movements for justice, including those advocating for women's rights and labor rights. Figures such as Martin Luther King Jr., who promoted nonviolent resistance and coalitions across racial lines, underscored how unity in purpose could amplify voices otherwise drowned out by dominant narratives. Similarly, contemporary movements like Black Lives Matter, BLM, illustrate how modern radical sociology continues to advocate for solidarity among diverse groups facing oppression. BLM has not only focused on police violence against Black individuals, but has also highlighted issues affecting LGBTQ+ communities, immigrant rights advocates, and environmental justice movements. By fostering intersections between these causes, understanding that racism cannot be divorced from sexism or economic exploitation, BLM embodies the essence of radical sociology's call for cross-community solidarity. However, achieving solidarity is fraught with challenges. Historical divisions based on race, class, gender identity, and ethnicity can complicate efforts toward unification. Some factions within these movements may prioritize their specific grievances over broader alliances, or may harbor skepticism toward others' motives or experiences. To overcome such barriers requires intentional dialogue and an acknowledgement of privilege dynamics within coalition-building efforts. Moreover, radical sociology encourages critical self-reflection within these movements, pushing participants not only to advocate externally against oppressive systems, but also internally against potential hierarchies or biases that might arise within their ranks. This reflexivity helps ensure that all voices are included in discussions about strategy and direction, while recognizing each group's unique experiences. In addition to fostering activism through coalition-building strategies rooted in shared struggles against injustice, radical sociology also emphasizes education as a means of promoting awareness about systemic inequalities among diverse populations. Grassroots education initiatives can empower disenfranchised individuals by equipping them with analytical tools necessary for understanding their conditions while highlighting connections across different forms of oppression. The legacy left by earlier movements serves as both inspiration and cautionary tale. While alliances forged through shared goals can lead towards meaningful change when nurtured properly, abandoning those bonds due to internal conflict risks undermining hard-won progress made together over time. The need for solidarity among disenfranchised groups is fundamental within the framework established by radical sociology, a key aspect influencing contemporary expressions on America's political left today. As historical examples illustrate, from civil rights advocacy through modern activism, the power derived from collective action transcends individual grievances. It creates momentum capable enough to disrupt entrenched systems designed around exclusionary practices aimed at preserving socioeconomic hierarchies. As America grapples with persistent inequalities amidst shifting political landscapes, moving forward into future uncertainties surrounding democracy itself, the lessons learned about forging coalitions rooted firmly within intersectional understandings remain ever-relevant reminders about achieving true equity together beyond mere rhetoric alone, towards lasting transformative social change where everyone's dignity matters equally regardless of background or circumstance faced daily along life's path ahead, intertwined together collectively striving onward toward freedom, envisioned bravely yet still so far away.